Now, if you don't know me, my name is Bridget, and I'm a stay-at-home mom who tries to make a little extra money through side hustles to make ends meet for my family and to help us reach our financial goals. I've been documenting my journey here on TikTok for around the last 3 years, but really, I started trying to make an income online around 9 to 10 years ago. At that time, I had just gotten engaged to my now husband, and I was looking for ways to make extra money so that we could help offset the cost of a wedding. At the time, I was working at a digital marketing agency and I was looking for someone to support me in my role. And I came across a website called Upwork. And I got to thinking if I could hire someone on Upwork to help me in my role, a ton of other people are probably going to Upwork to find freelancers as well. So I signed up for a freelancer on Upwork for digital marketing services, which I was already doing in my day job. So it just made sense. I actually found a client really quickly through that and they were local to me. So we ended up having a pretty great partnership. She referred me to other clients and my freelance business started to take off. The next year, I bought a new car and I wanted to pay that off as quickly as possible. So I continued doing freelancing through that year and was able to pay off that car within that year. At the end of that year, I also found out that I was pregnant. So we started saving up so that we had extra money for all the expenses that came with having a baby. And shortly after my baby was born, I realized that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom and that I could use this freelancing to get to that point where we would be able to do that. Now, at that point, I was the primary breadwinner for our family. My husband was still in college, so I had to make sure that I could still cover all of our expenses. But because at that point I had already been doing freelancing for a couple years, it ended up being a really big blessing to just be able to build up my client base even more, quit my digital marketing role, and become a full-time freelancer. I was a full-time freelancer for another year and a half, and then we had our second child, and it started to become harder and harder to keep up with client calls and all the day-to-day of managing a business while also caring for two small kids who were with me full-time. That's the time when I decided to transition out of freelancing and start looking for more side hustles or ways that I could make money where I wasn't fully involved in something that required my time at specific hours of the day. One of the side hustles that I was really interested in was the Amazon on-site commissions program, which I knew that I needed to have a social following in order to get into that program. That's why I started posting on TikTok in the first place. Now, almost 3 years later, I have tried almost every side hustle under the sun at this point. I've done surveys, I've done focus groups, I've done secret shopping, I've done letter writing, I've done UGC, I'm trying Etsy. There's a side hustle out there literally for anyone, no matter what type of person you are. So if you're joining me on this side hustle journey, thank you for being here. It means the world to me, and I will see you in my next video.